Hey guys! So we're coming up on the start of school now, and I thought it would be useful if I gave my tips for those of you who are moving into dorms for the first time this year. Even if you're not in college yet, it's never too early to start thinking about it. I know I loved watching these videos when I was in high school, so I feel like it's something you guys would enjoy. Before we get into it, I just want to shout out Prep Scholar, the sponsor of this video. Their program helped me to score a 1600 on my SAT, and they have a large bank of accurate practice SAT questions and helpful videos explaining pretty much every single topic you'll need in depth. So it'll improve your score, pretty much guaranteed. If you're in the market for a paid tutoring service, this is the one that I recommend to all my friends. And if you click on the link in the description below and end up buying their service, I'll get a commission, which really helps the channel out. Thanks so much for listening, and let's get into my dorm packing list. Alright, so what you bring sort of depends on what type of dorm you get placed in. At Michigan, we have a whole bunch of different setups of dorms, like singles, doubles, triples, quads. I think it even goes up to like 9-person suites. So like some of those have communal bathrooms, but the suites do have personal bathrooms. And all of them come with slightly different furniture arrangements that might affect what you bring. The size of your space also might affect what you want to bring, so you might want to wait on your shopping spree until you know the accurate dimensions of your dorm. So I'm going to be kind of basing my list on how my dorm was set up, and mine was a fairly standard arrangement. I was in a double with both of our beds lofted up, so we had like a large amount of space under our beds for stuff. I was in maybe a little bit cushier of a dorm because I did have AC that worked, and I think the dimensions of my dorm were a little bit on the larger side. So I might have been a little more pampered than your average freshman in the dorms. But anyway, the first things I want to talk about are the big kind of essential appliances. The most important things, in my opinion, are a mini fridge and a microwave. You'll definitely want to be reheating food and storing it, even if you do have a meal plan, because there are a lot of amazing restaurants in Ann Arbor. Or like if you want to buy refrigerated snacks at the Target or whatever, you'll want to have something. Or even if you want to steal cream cheese from the dining hall, which I did. So if you have a roommate, it's good to try to coordinate these bigger things with them so you don't end up bringing 2 fridges, especially if you live far away. So like maybe have one of you bring the fridge and one bring the microwave. Also, pro tip, talk to your older friends who are leaving the dorms, moving into apartments, because they might be able to donate their old fridges and microwaves to you or to sell them for really cheap. That's how my roommate and I got our microwave and fridge for under 40 bucks total. So bedding and pillows are also pretty essential to bring. U of M has twin XL beds, and I think that's pretty standard for most colleges, but be sure to check on their website before you buy anything. I would also say it's not really necessary to get 2 sets of bedding, since there's not going to be a lot of space to store things, and you'll have to be awake when you're washing your bedding anyway, because people hate it when you leave stuff in the washer and dryer overnight. You don't want to be that person. What I would recommend instead is bringing a few extra cozy blankets that you can keep around your dorm. I get cold pretty easily, so I loved curling up with a cup of tea in my little burrito blanket to study, but you really don't want to have to destroy your entire bed to do that, and sometimes a jacket or sweatshirt just isn't cozy enough. Alright, so next, a lot of people recommend a mattress topper, and I ended up buying one and then realizing it did not work at all for my room setup. So there are these guardrails on the dorm beds so you don't fall out of them. The extra couple inches that the mattress topper gave the mattress made it so I was almost above the guardrail, and that would really freak me out. And then since my bed was fully lofted, every time I got up in the morning, my head would bang against the ceiling, even more than without a mattress topper. But dorm living is all about innovation, and I'm so glad I ended up getting one because I made the best decision with it ever. I ended up putting it under my lofted bed on the space on the floor, and then I put bean bags, pillows, blankets, stuffed animals in that little space under my bed. I somehow attached curtains to it, put some RGB lights in there, and created a little cave for myself. Now, could I have just half lofted my bed and then used my bed as like a little study and hangout space? Yes, but is that as fun? No! Plus, you're supposed to separate where you sleep and work, right? So yeah, I loved my little cave. I ended up spending like the majority of my time in my dorm in there, especially when I didn't want to climb up the ladder to my bed to lie down. So I recommend at least a beanbag and a few throw pillows if you want to create a similar space like that in your dorm, and maybe a mattress topper, even if you don't use it on your bed. So also bed related, if you're going to fully loft your bed, I absolutely recommend one of those little bed caddy things that can hang off the side of your bed and hold all your stuff. This is where I charge my phone and my Raycons every single night, and I kept my glasses, my lip balm, some hair bands in there. It was just incredibly useful to not have to go down the ladder every time I wanted to charge my phone or get something. So you'll definitely want a few extension cables too, since most rooms only come with a few outlets, and you'll be charging a lot of things between your roommate and yourself. Also, definitely don't daisy chain them like I did. That's like a super safety hazard. I also had a power bank that I used to charge stuff on the go, and that's what I would put in my little bed caddy to charge my phone at night. So that was really kind of an essential item for me. Finally, for the general things, I would get a good laundry hamper. I had a mesh bag, or actually 2 mesh bags, as my laundry hamper, and I really regretted it because my dorm was on one of the top floors, The laundry room was in the basement on the other side of the building, so it was just a huge struggle to carry it down there, especially when I let my laundry build up. So I definitely think the more basket-like hampers with more structure would be better for carrying. Also, I ended up using a whole bunch of like random canvas bags to carry around my laundry, and it was nice to have them around to carry stuff, but don't bring too many random bags because you're going to be accumulating a lot of random bags from free events around campus. Alright, so now kitchen stuff. So my dorm didn't have a kitchen or a sink or anything, which really kind of limited how much of that stuff I brought, which is sad because I love cooking. The main thing I would recommend is a Brita. I loved my Brita. My roommate rolled her eyes at it. We had those nice filtered drinking fountains right outside in our hallway, but personally, sometimes I was just too lazy to walk out there to fill up my water bottle. Or like if I needed to water my plants or make ramen or something, I liked having a designated pitcher of water in the dorm, ready to go. Doesn't have to be a Brita, but like some kind of container to hold water I found really useful. It's also good to have at least 2 of every utensil and some plates, bowls, cups, and things. But the most essential thing for me was a mug. I would not only make tea almost every single day, but it was also just super versatile for anything, and it was the main way I boiled water. And by boiled, I mean put in the microwave. Alright, now on to the bathroom and cleaning stuff. The most important thing for the bathroom is to get yourself a shower caddy and a pair of shower shoes. And you can just use some old flip-flops as your shower shoes. Be sure to bring a few towels, washcloths, and all your normal shower stuff. Also, don't forget your toothbrush and toothpaste. No joke, I forgot mine the day I moved in, which was just sad. Also bring floss, bring some lotion, moisturizer, whatever you use in your skincare routine, and don't forget to bring some period products if you need those. For cleaning stuff, bring some wipes that you can use to just quickly wipe down surfaces in your dorm. I would recommend some paper towels and Kleenex too. Also bring a sponge and some dish soap if you brought any dishes, and don't forget some type of laundry detergent as well. I recommend some type of pod since that's going to be the easiest to bring down to the laundry room. Tide sticks are also going to come in very handy. Fun story, my friend once spilled her entire coffee on my foam mattress, and we spent like an hour cleaning it. We used up 3 Tide sticks, but we ended up getting pretty much all the stains out. Maybe not their intended use, but hey, they worked. Okay, now let's talk school-related stuff. So the obvious thing to bring to school is going to be a laptop, an iPad, or the main device you do work on. There are going to be some computer labs and libraries around campus, but it's not very convenient or practical to go there every single time you need to get work done, especially since most assignments are electronic these days. Make sure to bring the appropriate charger for this device, and a backup drive that you continuously back up throughout the year, so you don't lose too many of your files if it dies throughout the year. I would also have a set of earbuds and or headphones for Zoom meetings and virtual classes. A lot of my classes were virtual first semester, and I still have at least 3 or 4 weekly Zoom meetings for clubs and things. Another unexpected thing that kind of helped me out was having a flash drive. This wasn't super useful for my classes, but in doing research, a lot of the technology in the labs is not made to connect to Google Drive, and some of it doesn't even connect to the internet. So it's really good to have a way to transfer files from device to device. As for the other school stuff, that's kind of up to you. I like to go crazy with my stationery, as you probably know, but I would limit it to 1 of each main color pen and highlighter, and 1 of those classic mechanical pencil packs. I also used at least 1 graphing paper notebook for every class I took. Things like post-it notes, a stapler, and a pencil holder and bag were useful to carry all this stuff too. Also, I would recommend getting a ruler. I didn't have one, and I kind of needed it throughout the year, and I ended up borrowing one in an emergency situation from one of my hallmates. It was kind of stressful. So, first aid stuff. So in constructing your little first aid kit or station, the most important thing is just to bring any meds you take. Also important are some cough drops or cough syrup and band-aids. Aloe vera might be good to have, and I know I like this stuff that's like a liquid band-aid if you get a bad cut or something. Hand sanitizer is also great, though that's maybe more than just a first aid thing. It's definitely good to have multiple of those little hand sanitizers around, like 1 in your backpack, 1 on your desk, whatever. COVID tests are also good to stock up on, although your school might give you free ones if they want you to do testing or have some kind of free testing program. Alright, now a rapid fire list of small things that are easy to forget. Nail clippers, an umbrella, hangers, sunscreen and bug spray, tape, scissors, and anything related to main hobbies you have. Although, I would say just try to bring the bare minimum related to your hobbies, because you're probably not going to have a lot of time for them in college. For me, I brought my entire camera and tripod setup and used it exactly twice all year. Now some things that aren't necessary but are super nice to have: a portable speaker and a charger for it, to listen to some music around your dorm or outside, some posters and putty to hang them up with for decoration, LED lights, I was a huge fan, a full-length mirror, that one's probably the most useful on the non-essential list, a whiteboard and and markers, some plants, and any other dorm decor that you want to bring. Now, not so necessary things. I would say a vacuum or broom really isn't necessary to bring. This is kind of a case-by-case basis, but low-key my roommate and I would just borrow somebody's whenever we needed a vacuum or broom, or use the communal broom in the hallway closet, and that saved us a lot of space in our dorm. Also, trash cans and garbage bags. They had garbage bags in our hall closet too, and the room came with a trash can and a recycling bin, though you might want to check whether your dorm does or not. Also, textbooks. Don't buy your textbooks ahead of time. There's like a 90% chance there's a free PDF of it online, and somebody will send that PDF in the class group me like 10 minutes after it gets created. And even if that doesn't happen, it's good to go to class first to see if the professor will even be using the textbook, or if it's just kind of an optional thing before you buy it. And I think I already mentioned this, but it's not really necessary to bring an extra set of bedding. Alright, and in general, for the smaller things, you might want to wait until you're actually on campus, moved into your dorm, before you start buying them to figure out if you'll actually need them in your situation, especially if you live far away and have limited space to be bringing things. Also, that way you can bring just the essentials that you need from your home, and not have too much stuff cluttering up your dorm that you don't need. Finally, some notes on clothes. I might make a second video on clothes to bring eventually, but generally my tips are: make sure you're actually gonna wear everything that you bring, have at least 2 weeks of socks and underwear, maybe even more if you hate doing laundry like I do, and have at least one fancy interview presentation type outfit, and one outfit that you can wear to a formal event. Definitely bring a coat, rainproof gear, water and snowproof boots or shoes, and everything like that if you're in that kind of climate. And make sure that you have a good mix of exercise clothes, comfy clothes, and nicer pieces. It's good to bring things that can layer well so you can mix and match your very limited wardrobe a little bit. And just a note, I'm a huge fan of t-shirts, but don't bring your entire collection of t-shirts to college because you're gonna be acquiring a lot more of them around campus for free, so I would just stick to bringing your favorite t-shirts. Alright, I think that's everything I can think of. If there's anything major I'm forgetting, let me know in the comments down below. And for those of you who are out of the dorms already, be sure to let us all know what helped you survive. Anyway, thanks for watching, be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you soon!